was one of my goals in life, and I accomplished it, and it was just a thrill.
We decided in January, my wife and I did, to run it together and to really run it together.
It's given me a lot of self-confidence and a better attitude in my work and things that I do.
Of course, I put out the call for everybody to sign up for the half marathon.
Mike issued the challenge and we went for it.
Mike Hyatt is very persuasive.
I'm very, very happy that Mike agreed to do this.
This was my first half marathon experience.
I've never even thought of doing it before.
My wife and I both ran, and it was our first marathon experience.
This was my first time.
My first marathon.
It was my first half marathon.
It was my first half marathon.
This is the first half marathon experience I had, and it was great.
This was my first half marathon.
Well, this was the first time I have walked a marathon.
This is my first half marathon experience.
This is my second half marathon.
This is my second marathon experience.
Second marathon.
This is my second time.
This is the third one.
This was my fifth.
You know, for 25% of the workforce to run this race really touched me at a very deep level.
And the pasta dinner was great. Mike spoke a little and he had some people get up and talk about their experiences.
And the fact that there were so many people at the Parthenon beforehand.
You know, when I got off the bus in that morning and I went up to the steps where all of the Thomas Nelson people were for the picture, it was really cool to see, 160 some odd people in blue shirts. And
especially that morning to have the picture so you knew you weren't the only ones out there nervous about it. Doing it together was a really cool thing.
The part about being in the marathon that was exciting to me was seeing everyone's shirts.
It was a Team Nelson t-shirt that had Team Nelson on the front and had Run for the House on the back.
And to see the team members out there actually on the course and to see those blue jerseys.
I would see a blue shirt and I'd go for it.
Running into Nelson folks along the trail, some of whom I had never met before, was actually exciting.
It was great to get out there and see everybody on the Thomas Nelson team.
We had a fabulous time together.
We did. We had a great time. The feeling of being part of so many people.
I love doing it because of the excitement of being a part of the team.
I think my favorite part was just being out there with everybody.
And it was cool too to just be, walking and then you hear, go Team Nelson.
All the people on the sidelines cheering.
You get around all the people and all the cheering. You stop wondering why you're doing this to yourself.
But I promised Mr. Powers from the beginning I would do it with him.
Mike did make the challenge.
But I didn't really expect Joe to sign up.
Well, I think I sort of shocked him a little bit.
And we got there that day, rain or shine, and we did it with ponchos on at the beginning. We crossed the finish line
together.
Like this.
I think the biggest thing for me was the Mandy Mullenix really being a cheerleader, staying with me.
I was really pleased with myself because I started out, in the last group and I never lost my position.
I had a great time.
Just a really huge feeling of accomplishment.
There's a feeling of achievement.
It was great. I'm glad I did it.
It was a great experience. There's nothing like it. I mean, the excitement, it's like you're in the Olympics.
It was a great event, great time.
But it was just a very special experience.
People's lives were transformed as a result of running this race.
It was loads of fun.
It was an awesome experience.
Our tent was on the other side of the stadium, and somehow I made the 13th mile and never did find the elusive Thomas Nelson tent.
I'd like to make the tent closer to the finish of the race.
It's just been a great way to get to know each other.
Yeah. It was a great experience and just so wonderful to do with so many of my colleagues here at Nelson.
It's great from a personal standpoint. Everybody was psyched up, and it was just a cool thing for the company.
And I think it bonded us all in a really special way.
That's the best thing about it, the team spirit.
And I'm very proud and very excited. I'm going to do it next year.
When can we sign up for next year?
I plan to do it next year.
Definitely will run next year.
I'll do it again next year.
And I would do it again next year. I am going to participate next year. I could definitely see myself doing it again.
And in fact, I am going to do it again next year.
It was so fun that I would definitely plan on doing it again.
Look forward to doing it next year.
Good for exercise. I recommend it.
I would advise anybody to do it.
And you can do it. I mean, anybody can do it.
Everybody should do it.
Let's go ahead and commit early.
I would say just try it and you'll have a great time.
If you have good socks, good shoes, some stamina, you could just go and do it.
It's a wonderful experience. I think everybody should do it.
And I highly recommend doing it with other people.
If you don't do it, you will be letting yourself down.